All right, so my goal is to make this little stepper motor work. You can see, here's my finger. It's a tiny little stepper motor. So this is probably out of some camera, probably the focus mechanism or the zoom mechanism out of some camera. And it is a cute little beast. I saw them on eBay super cheap, so I bought a couple. And when I got them home, I thought, oh, they're just going to be a DC motor. And you just go that way and you go that way. So I've showed you how to use an H-bridge to drive a DC motor. And you can spin it in one direction or spin it in the other direction. So there you go. But on closer inspection, this is not a DC motor. This is actually a stepper motor, a tiny, tiny little stepper motor. And so it's a different type of stepper motor than I've showed previously. So I'm going to show you how to drive these things. And it has a little lead screw here, and so when the motor spins, this little lead screw will move this little bracket here. This little bracket here will be on the lead screw. So the lead screw is right here, and here's the follower nut, and then this will move in and out depending on you controlling the stepper motor. So when I first looked at the flex cable, it looked like a two-wire flex cable, but it's actually a 4-wire flex cable. There's 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. So yeah, let me change lenses and I'll show you how this motor is wired up. All right, so you can see how tiny this little thing is. So what type of motor do we have here? I showed motors before that were stepper motors, and they looked like there was a coil, a coil, a coil, and a coil, and then they were all tied together, and there was a common, right? So, and you pulled down on these to make it go. Well, if you look at this motor, it only has 4 wires. Okay, so how does that work? Well, there's one coil, and there's a second coil, and those are the 4 wires. So these are the 4 wires, and we have to figure out how to operate this motor with these 4 wires. So the way to think about this motor is a permanent magnet, okay? And instead of drawing north-south, I'm going to draw an arrow, okay? And you can imagine this is a north-south type of magnet, and it's going to be in some armature that has magnets. And so we're going to energize the coil, right? So if we energize and we put a south here, then it will align that way, all right? And what we want to do is we want to get this thing to rotate. Well, we could put a south. We could reverse the polarity. We can make this a south, and then this thing will want to point in this direction. It'll rotate in that direction. So we could get it to point up, or we can get it to point down, and then the other winding makes it point left and makes it point right. Okay, so that's the way this thing works. We're going to use an H-bridge on each one of these windings so we can change the polarity. So if we have it polarity set, we're going to turn off this horizontal magnet, and we're going to turn on the vertical magnet, and we're going to have it point in this direction. Then we're going to turn off the vertical magnet, and we're going to turn on the horizontal magnet in this direction. And then we're going to turn off the horizontal, we're going to turn on the vertical, but we're going to reverse the polarity. We're going to go in this direction, and then we're going to go in this direction, okay? So if we think about this, we have windings A and A prime, and have windings B, and we have B prime, all right? And what we want to do is we want to set it up to plus minus, and then nothing here, and then we want to have plus minus here, and nothing here, and then we want to have minus plus here, nothing here, and then we want to have minus plus over here. And then we want to repeat this sequence, right? So we want to go, now the stepper motor controller that we found, the 8080, allows us to do tri-stating. If you have a 1-1 on the inputs, it then tri-states the motor. And if you have a 0, that's when it energizes it in this positive direction, and you have a 0. So on the motor controller, so this is kind of a little bit confusing, but on the motor controller, the 80 Toshiba part, what we want is we want to have a 0, 1, okay? And then we're going to have another 80, 80. We're going to have a separate part, so this is going to be one part, and this is going to be a separate part. So over here we want a 1, 1. We say don't turn on the motor, 1, 1. And then we want to do a 1, 1 here, turn this one off, and we want to do a 0, 1 here. Then we want to turn this one off, so we'll put 1s here, and we want to have a 1, 0 now over here. And then we'll do a 1, 1, and we'll do a 1, 0 over here. So this is the sequence that we want on these two chips, okay? We want to energize this one, energize that one, and then energize this one reverse, and energize this one reverse, and we'll go around and around and around, okay? So what we're going to need is we're going to need two 8080s, all right? These chips here that I showed, these are TA8080Ks, Toshiba, and I'll put a link to the other video that I did on motor controllers, but we're going to have this. Now we're going to have some way of sequencing the bits. And remember when I did the stepper motor controller, I used a GAL device, and I thought, well, heck, we'll just do a GAL device for this one too. So let me show you my setup. All right. So here's my setup. I have two of the H bridges. I have a 555 timer to run the clock. The clock goes into pin 1 of the GAL, and then we're going to put a GAL. I have a socket here so I can put GALs in and out. And then there we go. So the GAL is going to take the 555 clock, and then it's going to output for 4-bit pattern. And that 4-bit pattern will appear here on pins 23, 22, 21, and 20. And they'll go over here to the motor controllers, all right? And then, now I have to worry about a voltage here, okay? This little motor is a 5-volt motor, and the GAL is a 5-volt part, but the H-bridge controller said the minimum is 6 volts. Now I've tested them lower than that, and they seem okay. I read the data sheet for the GAL though, and the GAL is good up to 7 volts. So we could run the GAL at 6 volts, and the H-bridge is at 6 volts, and the motor at 6 volts. That might be a little bit too high. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run everything at 5.75 volts, 5.75. All right. So let me get my 5.75 volts here, and I'll put on the negative. And before I put on the positive, I'll show you the motor. All right. So here is the motor. All right. So what we want to watch is we want to watch this little tab. Okay. So I'm going to turn on the power, and that little tab is going to the left, and then it goes all the way to the left. Right. And that's what I have this part programmed to. Now I'm going to remove this GAL, and I'm going to put in this GAL. And this GAL has the opposite bit pattern, so it's going to count the other direction. And we can see that it's moving now. It's moving to the right. Okay, so you see that? Hopefully. Can I go any, I can zoom in a little bit farther and maybe put this on something white so you can see the motor better. Okay, I think this will be a little bit better. Let me hold the motor down. And okay, so what you're going to be watching for is this tab, the movement of this tab. And I will put in the other GAL part. You can see the little tab there, it's moving up. And we get up near the top, I'm going to stop it. Stop it by removing the GAL. It's kind of a pretty crude on-off switch. And I'll put in the other GAL. There we go, it's counting in the other direction. Pretty cool. All right, I like it. So it's feasibility. Now, if I was going to actually run this part, I would run it with an Arduino. But I just kind of wanted to try it out here, make sure I could drive these things. I've never really driven a 4-wire motor before, so I wanted to kind of figure things out. And I think you could get a little fancier here. instead of just doing 4 steps, I think you could do intermediary steps too. You could turn just this one on, then you could turn them both on. It would go at 45 degrees, then you can just turn this one on. And I think you can make it go around a little bit better that way, but it seems to work fine the way it is. So I don't know, maybe it's just easier this way, and I'll just do it this way. But anyway, there's an introduction to 4-wire motors and using GALs. And I know everybody's going to say, I want to see the program the GAL uses and stuff. So we'll go over the computer and I'll show you that. So here we have the wind couple program for those 2 parts that I built. Let's see here. Well, the name's not right. Should say a 4-wire motor or something. Doesn't really matter. So the important parts are that the device is a G22V10 and that the input pin is defined as clock. So pin 1 is always clock on these parts. And then you need to define the output pins. So there's 2 sets. There's the Q pins and the M pins, which are the motor control pins. The Q's can just be a counter. So I have it defined here as just a 3-bit counter. I'm only using 2 bits of it, but it's a 3-bit counter. And then this is what we want to accomplish in this little comment here. We have the counter running, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And we want the control to look like this. We want to assert M0, then we want to assert M2, assert M1, and assert M3. Now they're negative assertions. They're all negative true logics, the zeros. And so I'm going to start out my definitions. I'm going to say here M0 equals not, which just means it's the opposite here. So you can invert this and make the zeros ones and the ones zeros. So when it's 0, 0, I want to have M0. So I have not Q1 and not Q0. That's when they're both 0. And then I have not Q0 and Q1, which is this one, number 2. And then I have not Q1 and Q0. And then I have Q1 and Q0. And so that's the way it works. And then I burned one ROM, or GAL part, the 22V10. I burned one with this code. And then I commented that out. And then I created this code. So you can see that it's 0, 1, 2, 3. And here it's 3, 2, 1, 0. So one counts in one direction, the other one counts in the other direction. That's how I got the motor to spin in one direction, and then I got it to spin in the other direction. So there you go.